Someone said to me recently that they think the biggest threat to our country is socialism, and I know a lot of right-wing groups say socialism sucks, and a lot of their message is pitching young people that socialism sucks. Here's multiple reasons why I think that's a terrible idea. Even though I don't personally like or want socialism, you have to understand why it's not working. First of all, recently they did a study, and young people are gravitating towards socialism like never before. So clearly, if you're trying to stop young people from liking socialism, it's not working. One of the main and obvious reasons is a lot of our youth and a lot of our families never went through socialism, so they don't know what it could be, what type of terrible regime it could produce. It's not a message that's hitting with young people because it doesn't register in their brains as bad. So sticking to that message is not going to be effective and hasn't been effective. Also, my personal feeling is if somebody likes socialism or even communism, or a young person is more liberal, if you talk to them like a human being or like you like them and want to actually show them love and convince them otherwise, I think that would work a lot better than constantly just making fun of them, belittling them, drinking their tears, owning the libs. This could be fun if you're in right-wing circles and want to have a joke, but if your true strategy is to convince a lot of youth and other demographics to like the Republican Party and conservatives, I would think that it wouldn't work really well. People like people who try to connect with them, not who just hate on them and belittle them. A lot of Trump supporters and right-wingers should know this, considering that's all that liberal media does to you. It's not a nice strategy, and it doesn't make you like them more, it makes you like them less. And when it comes to young people liking socialism, although of course we live in an amazing time that's really great, and we're very lucky and grateful to be here, we're also living in a time where getting a job is not the same as it used to be. You used to get a 401k, you used to have benefits, you used to have health insurance, you used to have companies who actually would value you as an employee and want to keep you there for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. Nowadays, they can't wait to get rid of you. They want to put you on contract, they don't want to pay benefits, they don't want health insurance, you're a contractor. It's really not the same. So the older generation says, oh yeah, Trump's economy is good for me, I have a 401k, the stocks are going to go up. The young generation's like, I don't own stocks, I don't have a job, I don't have a 401k, so how is this benefiting me? My wages are not going up. And the truth is, if you worked a factory job in the 50s and 60s, the amount of money you were making, even though it was lower with inflation, in some cases would be equivalent to like $100,000 today. Having a normal middle-class working job could provide a house, could provide for your family, could give you health insurance, stuff like that. We really don't have that nowadays, so there's something going on. And just saying capitalism's awesome, capitalism, it's not a message that resonates with the youth. I know, because when I was younger, I wasn't a big fan of capital. I wasn't like, yeah, America's really great, everything's perfect. It doesn't seem that way growing up. You see a lot of the mistakes, you see the homelessness, you see the poverty, you see the war, you see the phony politicians on the left and the right who get in, they don't do what they said they were going to do, and you see that something is morally and humanely wrong with society. And I'm starting to be able to put a finger on it. Although I love America, and I probably love America now more than I ever did in my life, you start to see some things wrong with our culture and our capitalism. First things first, I always say, you could go to a McDonald's in Europe or in Asia. It's like a beautiful restaurant. We created McDonald's. McDonald's is an American company, so why are our own companies, why is our own food structure better in other countries than it is in our country? Why are drug prices so high? From Donald Trump to Bernie Sanders to Tucker Carlson, everybody knows, how come they're cheaper in Canada? Why do companies, many of them who were made in America, feel so comfortable scamming our own country? Why is that? Something's going on. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to like socialism. You don't have to like Bernie Sanders or AOC. That's not what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to be a little bit sympathetic, maybe a little bit empathetic, and a little bit understanding why young kids look at capitalism and look at our country and think, I want to change. I want healthcare. I want stuff. And the truth is, I don't personally support Obama and Bernie Sanders' health plan, but I understand what they're trying to do, although I don't think that Obama executed it properly. If we have trillions of dollars for everything, we're trillions of dollars in debt, they have no problem passing $1 trillion spending bill, spending trillions of dollars in Afghanistan, having billions and billions of dollars go unaccounted for. I'm sure they've lost it or mismanaged trillions by now. But then when it turns around for something to benefit the people, all of a sudden it's too much money. These are the type of talking points that might make sense to you. They might make sense to me sometimes, but they're not making sense to the youth. And the proof is in the pudding and the statistics. So if you want to convert the youth, which you're going to have to do, I'm telling you now, in 2016, a lot of young people voted. Google, Taylor Swift, and celebrities are getting young people to vote more now than ever. I promise you it's going to make a big effect. It's the same sort of thing with the demographics. I know a lot of right-wing groups are like, we want to get this demographic, we want to get these people. I get that you want to do that. I get that you're doing a lot of identity politics like the left wing to be like, look, we can be this too. We can be this. I get that's what you're trying to do. And in many cases, you're doing a good job. You're getting a start, maybe more than's ever happened on the right wing. But in my personal perspective, I feel like we're going against the current on this one. And anybody who tries to influence it in a different direction, all of a sudden is like a big bully or the enemy of the right. Oh my God, you want this? I don't want that stuff. I'm just saying I don't think socialism sucks, and constantly just putting a big bullseye on socialism is a message that's resonating with a lot of young people because they don't even understand what it's like to live in a country that's fully further left wing in a lot of policies. I've had a lot of people come up to me and say, Anomaly, it was your videos that actually got me to really think twice about the media or about Trump or about right wingers and conservatives. I've heard that so many times, and I think the reason is because I'm not screaming at people. I'm not being mean. I'm not belittling them. I'm not making fun of them. I'm not telling them they suck. Although some people do suck, let's be honest. I'm actually genuinely trying to get that message to the people who need it the most, because when you're on the left wing or you're on the right wing, if you want people to understand what you're talking about, you don't need to convince other left-wing people, or if you're right-wing, you don't need to convince other right-wing people. You need left-wing people to understand what's going on. You need moderates. You need people who normally don't vote for you. That's something that Trump did very well. He got millions of Democrats, people who've never voted for a Republican, to vote for him. Whether you like that or not, that's the reality of how to win an election. You can't just talk to the people who already like you and agree with you. You have to convince another big portion of America why you're the person for the job, or why your ideology, your politics, your policies are better than the other ones. And I think the best way to do that is with a little bit of understanding, rather than just trying to force it down people's throats, make fun of them, belittle them. It only creates more stress. It only creates more division. And for sure, I see that both sides are pretty guilty of it. Although it's definitely debatable about who's worse. I think everybody has an idea and their own perspective, but that's what I wanted to talk about today. Fine-tuning the message and having real conversations so you could take the best of both worlds and realize maybe we could do that. Not like that, but like that. Instead of just like a kindergarten game of wall ball where people are freaking out. It's really gross what politics have become in this country. And that's a misconception that you see on both sides of politics. If you say something or disagree with someone or want to debate it or challenge somebody on your team, all of a sudden you're a hater, you're a Russian, you're really secretly alt-right or right-winger, you're really secretly a liberal just infiltrating. That's not how it works. I always use the analogy, if I'm on the New York Knicks, which I'm clearly not. I'm pretty good at basketball, but I'm not on the Knicks. If I'm on the New York Knicks, at halftime, I meet with my team. I talk to the New York Knicks. I don't go to the other team and start saying what they could do better. That's not my job. If this is really, truly my team, I'm supposed to make us better. That's exactly what any team does. So the idea that you're not supposed to make your team better, like Democrats like Tulsi Gabbard, who are trying to talk to the Democrats, are secretly Russian agents who hate. No, she's trying to make you guys better because it's awful what the Democratic Party has become. It's the same with the right wing. If you're just a runaway train and you just can do whatever, say whatever, you could lie about the First Amendment, you could pass this, pass that, and no one's allowed to question you, or else they're secretly a liberal or too far right for you. What is that? There's no other part of life that makes sense in, so I don't understand why people were told that makes sense in politics, because it doesn't. Hopefully this video made sense to you. I appreciate you. Let me know in the comment section how you feel. I appreciate everybody who's a Facebook supporter, a Patreon supporter. It allows me to crank out videos, be independent, and be honest and truthful, because if I had to work for a big corporation or I had to work for a smaller corporation, I probably wouldn't be able to say half this stuff. They would try to censor or mold what I say. So I appreciate everybody who supports this channel. Thank you guys. God bless you and have an amazing week. I'll be back with more videos.